Now that we have you both sitting here, take us back to the beginning. How did you guys meet?
Oh.
You tell it.
You want me to? No.
Yeah, you tell it better than I do.
I do tell it better.
Rehabbing my shoulder with Oakland, with the A's, where the paramedics sit at the Coliseum. The players have to like basically walk by them, you know, until I was working. I was like, walk by, I was like, whoa!
Senior members of our department in Alameda County are able to pick up these shifts at the Oakland Coliseum to work on the field in case like a player goes down. And so coincidentally, like I was in the office when they were like, we need a medic, and I was like, I'll do it. They have their own medical providers, you know, that are with the team, but like we're there in case, you know, a cardiac incident, et cetera, we can hands-on. So I'm standing there and it's called the dugout, and I don't even know what a dugout is at this point. Okay, that's how bad I am. So I'm standing there, I'm like, okay, this is interesting and this is cool, and these boys are going back and forth. And Sean walks by, I'm like, oh my God, there's Samoans in baseball? Like I had no idea, because there's a lot of Samoans in Oakland, but there's no Samoans in baseball, really. I was like, wow, that's a very good looking man. And that was it. No communication, nothing. I just, you know, referenced it. And then a few days later, I was at this place in Oakland. It's a bar in Oakland called Hello Stranger. I was there with my friends for a different occasion, and then Sean was there with his friends on a different occasion. Yeah, and I was like, oh my God. And I'm telling my friends, like, guys, I swear to God, I just saw this guy in a baseball field. And so I walk up to him like, hey, like, were you at this baseball game, like on the field? Very confidently. I think I tapped him.
No, she jabbed me with
she
her
says I
sharp
jabbed him,
fingers
okay?
In the rib cage.
I think I
still recovering.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, so that's it. And then I was like, hi, like, were you in the baseball field?
Were you like, oh my gosh, this is the girl?
No, you didn't recognize me at first.
No, I didn't. At first I didn't. But then as you were talking, I was like, oh, you're the EMT. And she was like, no, I'm a paramedic. And I'm like,
which is a little bit more school than an EMT.
Yeah, at the time I didn't know what it was.
I got into it, I went to college at UCLA, so when I was at UCLA, I was like, oh, I want to go to medical school. And then I took physics, and I realized I do not want to go to medical school. I took an EMS course, and then I loved it. I got to do a ride-along with the fire department in LA, and then I went up back home, which was the Bay Area, and I'm originally from Oakland. And so my first EMS job, you know, as an EMT, I was in Contra Costa County, which is one of the counties out there, and then when I got my paramedic license, I was like, I want to work for my own city. I want to be in my own city. And so I started working in Oakland, in Alameda County, and where I met Sean. So I got a lot of blessings out of it. I got to meet Sean. I got to serve my own city. I learned a lot. I was very young, very, very young. So I got to see things at a very young age to really shape my world, in a sense, and be able to kind of understand that there's so much going on in this world, and every little city that you're in, you have no idea, you know. And from there, I was lucky enough to be hired with the fire department, so I got to switch from Oakland to San Francisco, and then I was with the fire department in San Francisco. Sean was with me through all of that, so he knew me through my academy, which was a very hard academy. But I flew for a year.
What do you mean?
I got to work for a private company called Reach. It's helicopters, so we did 911s and inter-facility transports. Some of the best days of my life, because you learn so much and you see so much, and some of the most amazing people in all departments, and especially I got to meet like these nurses and these pilots who knew so much. Now I have these life skills for life, you know, and hopefully nobody ever needs to use it, but it's translated a lot for me in the sense of, you know, we have Sean's parents with us, they're elderly. My dad passed away, but when he was with me, I've been able to help Sean in the sense of take care of all the stuff that he doesn't need to worry about, so I can worry about him.
Now that you guys have a daughter, what kind of manager, to put it in baseball terms, so to speak, is she for the family?
Yeah, I mean, this family wouldn't really work without her. I think I would just play with Shima too much, and there wouldn't be really...
forget to feed her?
Yeah, I would forget something or something like that. And
Talat, do you think that he's as confident with the dad stuff as he is with the baseball stuff?
I would say because of baseball, I think he's probably a better dad, because you kind of have to sometimes fake it, right, on the mound, put on this confidence even though you're like scared or whatnot. And it's the same thing with a baby, right? So many times you're like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm just gonna smile and hold this child and hopefully it works out.
Where has he surprised you the most in fatherhood?
Diaper changes, thank God.
So Shima was born in September.
Yes.
What was it like bringing her to the first baseball game?
Hey girl, wait till you hear, you thought 7 p.m. is bedtime? Good luck. 7 p.m. is start time. She was fine. I put the little carrier on, threw her in there. Before I gave birth, I would go walk around, always try something new that's like out there in one of the levels. now I take her, and it's cool because I feel like she doesn't realize like this world of that she's in right now is, you know, it's just this time. You know, she doesn't recognize how big it is. And that's cool to see that, you know, it's cool to recognize that like for, you know, for me, for Sean, this is like the biggest deal in the world, right? We're such a big platform to be on. And for her, it's like, okay, what's the difference between home and the Met Stadium? Like she doesn't know. And I think it's cool to see that. It's cool to take them to these places and have her live a life that I didn't live, you know, that Sean didn't live. And Mets fans, they love kids, so they always like, I was like, oh, whose baby is that? Or like hang out. I want her to be a social baby because we're very social people.
Once baseball is over, what do you guys see your life looking like?
Have you ever seen the Wild Thornberrys?
It was yes, Nickelodeon, yeah, of course.
Yeah. With,
Eliza.
With Nigel, Eliza, Donnie. Me personally, I think we're just going to go adventure for a few years, and then we're going to see what happens after that. So,
Travel. See the world. When we finish baseball, I would say that would be the goal, is to be able to travel to see countries during spring and, you know, other seasons. Oh, wow, this looks different, yeah.
Why do you think it's important for you guys to travel?
To show Shima the world around us. I think it's even cool seeing baseball in other countries, you know, like you never realize how big baseball is in like Japan, or you hear about it, but then you go and you're like, wow, we went to Croatia. And this guy was like, oh, you know, are you Sean Manaea? Do you play baseball? Yeah.
yeah, it was crazy.
It was like a small town, and it was a small town in Hvar, I think, in Croatia.
Was he a native Croatian?
Yes.
Yeah. He'd watched baseball during the pandemic because it was like the only sport playing.
Yeah.
And he like recognized me. He was like, I was like, Dad.
You're like, I can't go anywhere.
That was wild. No, I thought that was really, really
That
cool.
was beautiful. I thought it was so cool.
Yeah, you get a lot of perspective when you travel, and you know, I think seeing the world is, just gotta do it. You know.
You just achieved 10 years of service time. Congratulations. That is extremely, extremely rare and impressive.
Baseball is a short time, right? Like, I mean, 10 years is a long time in baseball, but if you think about it in the bigger picture, I mean, it's like a percentage of your life in a sense.
The blip on the radar.
It's a very small blip in our radar. So you have to like really remind yourself that, even though it seems like it's our entire world, it's our future, it's the whole, it's not. It's really just such a short frame. And I think the older you get, the sooner you realize, oh wow, wait, we're almost done, you know? Like, life is short. Baseball is shorter.
We have a visitor now.
Yes. Good morning.
The best visitor of all time.
Must
Sorry,
be
Sean.
nice.
Do you think Shima's going to take after you or Sean?
I hope Sean. Sean is really down to earth, easygoing. I love that attribute, and I've always wanted to have that attribute, just the patience that comes with it. And if she could get that attribute, we're winning, because she'll be patient with me as her mom, in a sense. I would like for her to have some of my features, like standing up for herself and, you know, being outspoken, but at the same time, I think maybe a combo of both, but more Sean for sure. And a Mets fan.